Using MS Excel to plan each coordinate, I have created the first fully planned city of mankind, set in prehistory. I will be playing Dawn of Man at the hardest difficulty to build this great city simply known as the Ozymandian Kingdom. Given the ravages of time, even the greatest men and the empires they forge are impermanent, their legacies fated to decay into oblivion. This city, while it lasts, shall, however, be so great that gods invented 1,000 years from its passing shall come with bowed heads to ask our ancestors, who built this edifice? Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, lovers of war, traders of great renown, I, the Strategic Indian, bid you welcome to my channel, where our motto is think, practice thinking. If you like the content, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment, which will greatly help with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Welcome back to Dawn of Man. So, today's objectives, we shall be expanding our housing all the way to the third quadrant, and that will show us the limit of the Ozymandian Kingdom. After that, we are going to take a 90-degree turn and then continue to build onto our fourth and final quadrant. However, that is for later. Main objective today is that we are going to complete our Weavers District, which is going to allow us to prepare for the Copper Age. We are going to continue building up our resources and ensure that when we hit the Copper Age, we have everything that we need. Recap, the lower half of the Ozymandian Kingdom is complete. We have met our animal husbandry quotas, and I did the masterclass on farming. Please check out that episode if you have not done so already. That will cover from the basics to the most advanced of how you are supposed to farm most efficiently. We had a little bit of an error in the number of houses that we built last time. I was completely aghast. I watched it and realized it quite a bit late, but now we are fine. So the way we are going to do is we are going to deconstruct the houses. However, we're going to keep the towers up until we build the new towers because everything close fits, nothing can be out of place. So I had 6 houses in the row. If I just delete 5 houses, then the 5th house shall be pointing the wrong direction. So I had to actually delete all of those. And then now we are on track. So we are going to build those houses. Therefore, we are going to build up our wood reserves. So we do it in a phased manner. So first we get rid of the houses, then we go for cutting down trees. We don't try to do all of it together. So we'll place the order now, because people have already gone on the way to cut down the trees, and we have enough resources to ensure that this construction goes ahead without a hiccup. The point of keeping the towers up is pretty elementary. If raids come in, we will be able to defend ourselves, else we will be caught out of position, and that's something that we really don't want. Something I wanted to talk about is as we go to the higher ages, the only reason we would need to leave our vicinity of the kingdom will be to cut down trees, because as the amount of wood that we are going to need is going to be gigantic. Okay, first let's do this one. I'll come back to that. So we need to leave a space of 4. I don't like to count because often it makes a mistake. There is no grid in the game. So then we leave a space of 4. Then we put down the first outfitter in the following manner, in the following orientation. Make sure you leave one gap from the granaries that you put in, and then the other set of 3 outfitters will be touching the side where the arrows are not there. This is how close packing is done. You won't be able to fit anything more in this. And the third row will have the weavers placed in the following manner, so that the backs are toward the outfitters and they are going to take the linen or the wool, and they are going to make a linen cloth and wool cloth, and that will immediately go for processing in the outfitter, followed by storage in the warehouses which we have peppered around the kingdom. Now you can clearly see the there is a warehouse quite near to the outfitter which is being built. Let's go in and have a look. It's best to do construction during the winter months because in the spring we will be planting. In the summer, summer we will. I still have a secret weapon which I will reveal quite a bit later. So summer will be quite busy, and so of course will be fall. Fall is of course the most busy because we will be doing our harvesting, and we need to bring in all of the hay. So our weavers district are going to go up. Very, very famous weavers will be working over here, and our handicraft and our cloth will be famous. So it will be traded to merchants who come by, and they will be left with glowing terms for our kingdom. As always, get straw, get the animals, get the food, and we will get some extra things. For example, linen is always good to have. You can clearly see that we have 412, a bill for 412. We won't get the flint things because, yeah, who needs those? And the merchant goes on his way. So our weaver district is going up. Never trade away grain or flour, because one grain will be transformed to one flour, and one flour will give two breads. So if you give away a bread or a flour, you are actually trading away a value of 2 but receiving a barter of 1 because they're valued at 1. But it gives you 2 food, so that's for me a value of 2. Also remember, every merchant actually takes a commission. So a low commission is a 30% commission. Imagine that happening in real life. And a medium commission is 40% and high commission is 50%. So in addition to the lost value from giving away grain or flour, you are also losing this part of this commission. So you're not getting back 1 for 1. So construction of the weavers continue. We got 4 people come in. So last time we had a batch of 6 people come in. So that's already 10 people this year. That's fantastic. That is just brilliant. We continue to push our construction to happen during the winter. However, the AI is a bit dumb. So often they will not be doing construction and they keep it pending because one branch is missing or something, and they don't have half a brain to go and get that one branch because that's point number 78 on a 90 point bullet list. So yeah, they just stand there. I don't have a branch. What do I do? Yeah, no branch is here. Why don't you go pick up a branch? Yeah, but I have to stand here. Yeah, but you can go pick up a branch. But my standing. So weavers are getting done. You can clearly see the beauty of this game. There's this thing that weavers use. I don't know what weavers use, but yeah, that's some thing. Right. I don't know. I know they use a loom, but loom was from the Indus Valley civilization, and Dawn of Man mainly goes for I think pre-Celtic Britain. So this is prehistoric Britain is the inspiration for Dawn of Man. That is why you have MR, and the construction style is Britannic. Okay, so let's follow the journey of this one person. So he has picked up linen cloth, and then he goes, so he picks it up from the warehouse, and then he walks over to the outfitter, where he is going to magically make linen or wool cloth, depending on whether he picked up a wool or a piece of flax. So then they have already, so she has already begun her work. See, you can see her shuffling the deck, or God knows what she's doing. She's there. That's just black magic that is happening right now. That's black magic. Look at that. Kids walking in and out. Yeah, but this is how efficient the system is there. So already the thing is made, and whatever outfit was made, wool or linen, it gets deposited in the warehouse, and now she has picked up another one. So she's going back. So that looks like a wool cloth to me, right? So that's how efficient this city is. People are picking up things from the warehouse, and then they are going to the outfitter, and they are getting that job done. So we have almost set up our weavers are complete, all of our outfitters are complete. Let's watch on the screen how quickly the wool cloth is being made. So it's standing at 22 wool cloth, as you can see in the top right of the screen, and 4 linen outfits. So linen outfits are for summer. Before you hit the copper age, they don't actually complain about having or not having summer clothes. But once you hit the copper age, they're going to drive you completely insane. The AI is going to continuously drive you insane. That hey, I don't have this this summer cloth. It doesn't bother me.
Do it!
If in the winter you don't have a wool cloth, yes, it does bother them. They can die from that. But they don't have a particular dress set for the summer, and then they will start complaining in the next age. That's why in this age itself, we are going to be preparing ourselves with the resources for the next age. So we will have enough mud, which we will require to set up our pits, so pit furnaces, or our charcoal pits.
Yes, you can!
So ensure that all of these items are there in your inventory before you move on to the next stage. Hitting the metal age is a very critical point, because you will have people, raiders who are coming in with metal weapons, and you will not have any metal weapons because you have got flint. So that's no good. Yeah, that's why I was having this philosophical argument that, yeah, when the Spanish came to the Aztecs, they were just so far ahead in technology. And then the other side was also saying that, well, they had technology of their own. I said, absolutely, I'm not denying that. However, what the Spaniards had going for them is that they had the joint knowledge of Africa, Asia, and Europe. Because all of these lands were connected through trade, through communications from prehistory. So any invention that would happen in India, say Damascus steel. Damascus steel is called Damascus steel because it was shipped to Damascus from southern India and then on to Europe. Therefore, it got the name Damascus steel. It was not made in Damascus. It was made in Kerala, in South India, where they use the monsoon winds to make the bellows to get those high temperatures, which you couldn't other than that. So you had all of this technology available to the Spaniards, and therefore whatever limited technologies the New World had, the Aztecs had, was far less, because they were not connected. Okay, this child is going to die. Rip! Run, micro. Okay, done. Thurad is gone. Poor girl. So that's the 5th death I think we have. At this stage, I think most deaths are going to come from wild animals or from blizzards. Blizzards are, I will get into blizzards later on in this episode. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, so, that's why the Aztecs could not compete. They just couldn't compete. and they had to use numbers. And of course, the Spaniards, the biggest problem they had is that they were extremely far away from supply. And that's how finally the Aztecs could pull the fast one on them on the La Noche Triste. So I'm going to expand our farms because we have the people, and we are going to go for flex farming. Raiders are coming in, so that's why the towers were up. If we didn't have these towers, we would be in a bit of hot water. So what I'm doing now is I am actually going in and checking if any of these raiders have got copper weapons on them. I don't see any, so that tells me that we can remain in this age. We are still good. Now, once you are in the Neolithic age, you want to trade all the technologies except the last two. So that is dredging and megalithism, I believe. Yeah, where you can make these megaliths and small things. Everybody is standing over here. Go over there. Go over there. There's a war going on. Alright, we have to micro. So one more person dies to the raiders. 2 more people die to the raiders. And we are now pulling everybody back so that they come under purview of the towers. This is to be expected. We are caught a bit out of position. We don't have walls over there, but 2 people down for a raid at this stage is still fine. Then we dominate the raid. Everybody gets it handed to them. Free projectiles donated every day. Wolf is over here, so I'm going to move the caveman who is weakened after that fight. And probably that is the same wolf which had killed Thurad. So Thurad is now avenged. And as a mark of disrespect, we are even going to capture the young one of this wolf, because that's going to help us quite a lot. There we go. Got it. Workloads are a bit high. It's to be expected during the planting season, plus that raid had to come during the planting season. If you are getting raids during the planting season, which we will get quite a lot, and also during the harvesting season, that is the worst. That is why we are building up this gigantic food reserve. We have close to 500 food. You will see this decrease all the way to almost 0. Because we're going to push our people and make sure that we have all the things ready. For example, our defenses are ready, our copper and bronze tools are ready. So this is calculated. I do calculate that risk, and therefore I allow the food to dip and make sure that we have all the things in place. So even if your foods are low, don't panic. Ensure that you have enough supply so that once you need it, you are quickly able to increase your production. That's what we are going to do. So as you remember, the last time we checked, we had 22 wool outfits. We're already up to 44. So we have doubled our wool outfit in the matter of a few minutes. That is how this kind of efficiency helps. By putting the weaver right next to the outfitter, next to the warehouse, we're quickly moving forward and building up whatever we require. Meanwhile, our planting is going great. We had a raid during the planting season, however, and we expanded our planting. So this is going to be the maximum limit of planting on this side of the shore. We are also going to plant on the opposite bank of this river and not in any other direction, because then we are keeping our farming as compact as possible, and we are going to connect it with bridges. If I were to farm, say, on the opposite end of the Ozymandian Kingdom, then what would happen is that suppose somebody is planting or harvesting, they do the harvesting on one side, then the AI tells them, hey, go and do that on the other side. So they're going to walk clear across my city and therefore waste time, which is very precious during the planting and the harvesting season, not do much work, and then that's not efficient. Also, when you are planting manually, which we are doing at this stage, it lowers their morale, so they don't like that job. At the later stages, we are going to get plows. Plows will ensure that we can harvest without losing morale. However, at this stage, it is unavoidable and we shall be losing morale. Therefore, they will go back and they will start praying and essentially recovering morale, which is all for me a waste of time. Yeah, we got a decent amount of farming, planting done. This is decent. Quickly ring the bell to make sure everybody resets. We'll go back to cutting trees because we got our weaver district built up. We are up to 50 woolen outfits and 25 linen outfits. So we are mass producing all of our clothing. We are going to trade it away, and that is why we built up the success. So why are we having this large production? So I've been asked on Steam as well as on the Reddit that hey, these look like a lot of buildings. Very constructive feedback. However, I would like to counter that over here and say that no, this is not overproduction. I don't have way too many food dryers. As you can see, we did not put down all of our food dryers. We are building everything in a phase-wise manner. Even our housing. We are not just continuously building housing. We are building enough housing to ensure that we have migrants come in and for new births. So if we build up a large excess of houses, then they will all require continuous maintenance, and that will often happen during the harvesting season. That is the only time we will have an excess of hay, and then they are going to harvest the hay and take it back to the settlement to repair some buildings. That's why we don't overproduce stables. I explained why. And also houses. Also for our production, we go in a completely phased manner. We are not going to produce everything at the same time. And what is this manufacturing power doing for us? What is it that we are buying? Because we are making almost everything. We're making our own tools. We're making our own clothes. We're making our own food. What is it I am buying? I'm buying time. That's the most precious commodity. I'm buying time and I'm buying security. So at any point of time, if there is a risk to the colony, then I will immediately try to counter it by just buying up in a massive manner whatever I require at that point. So for example, we are using our manufacturing capabilities to buy up animals, which are quite expensive. And why are we doing that? So that we can meet the quota for our animal husbandry, which is going to ensure we continuously get a raw meat influx. We have stopped hunting. We are not hunting anymore, right? So we are not dependent on having a big herd of juicy aurochs or a woolly mammoth coming near to our colony. We don't need that, because we have got 30 goats, 20 sheep and 30 pigs, which are continuously going to be slaughtered and ensuring that we have raw meat to dry on the food dryers. Therefore, the food dryer won't be empty and asking us that, hey, put a piece of raw meat to dry. It's not going to send out that command, because there will be something already drying over there continuously. And therefore, we are going to do things in a very phased manner. As you can see, I am not building more than 5 houses. I'm not building on the right as well as on the left side. I'm going systematically and slowly building up our progress. Now, old jungle proverb, please don't forget to move your tannin collection as you cut down trees. And of course, increase your tannin collection limit as your needs increase. So at this point, we are already asking 100 or so tannin to be collected, which is more than enough. And later we are going to push it even higher, because I want to always have leather available. Even if leather rots, I don't care. It lasts for 2 years or 1 year, I believe. But I want leather, because at any point of time, we might require to build up sleds or cards, or say leather protection. There are leather armor. Yeah, there is leather armor. So I want to, and also once you hit the Iron Age, the furnace requires leather for building, and often that is a very critical time when you are very much poor. Therefore, have an excess of leather, have an excess of flax before you go on to the next ages. Harvesting is going on perfectly. We just have 117% workload. So if you are thinking that having all of this production is actually holding us back, no, it's not. It's actually keeping us safe. And just because we are doing things systematically, we are able to go to the harvesting. We are able to go in and buy whatever we want from the merchant. So I'm also continuously scanning, as you can see, to ensure that raiders don't come in. We are buying up animals, we're buying up food. All of that we are doing simply to ensure that in the coming age we are protected. We are slowly going to lose our buying power, and we are going to be having the weakest purchasing power once we hit the Bronze Age. Most, if not all, of our items are going to be completely worthless in the Bronze Age. Things which are actually what we are going to build upon and require quite a lot will be quite worthless, but for that reason we will ensure that we have all of the resources that we need, that we don't have to buy too many things, not even technology, in the Bronze Age. So that's why we are hoarding up and getting an excess of everything so that we are prepared for the time when we are the weakest. Our food is almost going to hit zero. We are standing at 600 plus food right now. It's difficult to imagine that all that 429 grain that you see on the screen right now are going to be not present. We are going to be hitting zero grain, zero meat, zero bread. So we are going to hit those limits because we are going to go towards the Bronze Age, where of course things are going to get very tough. And if we didn't have those high production, then we would be completely annihilated. Now, Blizzard is here, and remember Blizzard skill. So get everybody indoors. Ensure that you have enough warm clothes. We have an excess of warm clothes because we have, for 110 people, we have more than 110 woolen cloth, plus all the dry skin outfits. Repeatedly ring the alarm bell. So every few minutes of when you're playing as at the hardest difficulty, every few minutes ring the bell, so people will remember that that resets their task, and then they are going to do an analysis of their condition, and they are going to therefore decide to come back, or they are going to stop doing what they're doing and they will come back, which is going to save their lives. The toons are pretty stupid in Dawn of Man, but yeah, what can we do? We have to work with what we do, and that is the biggest pro tip out there. Ring the bell, and that's going to save a lot of people's lives. You don't want to send out parties for harvesting. There is not much work, so all the wood that we have to get are from nearby. You can clearly see we have 100% work rate. There, I rang the bell again, and that translates to 130% work rate. Alright. In the late game, the only reason we are going to leave the Ozymandian Kingdom is to cut down wood, because the amount of wood we are going to require is going to be really ginormous. You have no idea how much wood it actually takes to run this kingdom, because we have hearths which require warming, all these houses require warming. So if you're thinking that, hey, I don't need as many hearths, no, because only we need to have enough hearths, because it has been reported on Steam. I have never seen it, I have not seen pictures, but I have read in the literature of the game that 16 people can go into and use the same hearth. We will have 16 hearths spread out across this whole kingdom, and therefore we will have a capacity of 250 plus people able to eat food simultaneously. 2 people move in, so in this year we could get 12 people come in. So always scan to ensure that you don't have attackers coming in, and always in the time after blizzards ensure you see where your people are going around and what tasks they are doing. They are picking up branches from that hillock after the hillock, so we are going to cancel that and move that work area closer, or we're going to rely on cutting down trees. To get our branches. We have 53 raw meat and enough of dryers. During the pre-copper age, the most profitable item is the dried skin outfit. For one dried skin, which you can get from drying a raw skin after which can be gotten from getting hunting or through slaughtering your domesticated animals once they are past the limits. That gives a value of 10, which is insane. And wool outfits and linen outfits only give a value of 5. So I don't know what that unpaid intern was thinking when he or she was putting down those values. Wool outfits need to have higher value, but yeah, we can't do anything about it. And you want to make sure that this entire supply is expended, because in the next stage the value of dried skin outfit becomes 1. So that's basically worthless. So ensure that you slowly phase out production of dried skin outfits. And the number of flint mines that you build shall be 3. No more, no less. 3 shall be the number thou shalt count, and the number of counting shall be 3. Thou shalt not count to 4, neither count thou 2, excepting that thou count, then proceed to 3. 5 is right out. So that's the marker. 3 flint mines, once exhausted, tell you that you have to immediately move to the copper age. If you continue to bring in more, then you are lingering in the wrong age. Also, once you do all of the tech except the last 2 and you hit 120 plus, so 130 as we have right now, 131 knowledge points, that means the raiders are also going to move to the next stage. Therefore, I don't research those 2 techs, and I prefer to buy those 2 techs, because that tells me clearly what is the time limit I have before moving before the raiders are going to move on to the next stage. As you can see, we have built the maximum limit of the Ozymandian Kingdom, and therefore we are going to take a 90 degrees turn. And of course, as soon as you turn 90 degrees, there will be 5 platforms followed by 2 towers and 1 gap. So that is where the gate shall be placed. And here comes our platforms.
Another one. And another one.
5 platforms for 5 houses. Every house will have 1 platform right behind it. The towers are placed even further back, and therefore the towers, if you count, are from the wall, they are 7 tiles away. So they can fire up to a range of 7 plus, and therefore raiders who are trying to get to our walls will be shot at by our towers, while they cannot shoot at our towers. They cannot even reach our walls, because through a cunning trick we are going to place transposts, so transportation posts, in front of the walls. Every wall piece will have a transportation post or a totem in front of it, and the raiders can never break down these 2 items, so they cannot reach your walls. To do melee damage, they don't fire with arrows on walls. I've never seen them do that. unless they are so far away, then if there is a wall piece very far away, then they do fire. But since they are so close to the towers and platforms, they are going to try to close in the distance, and our towers will continue to fire while they are unable to get to our walls or to our towers. We will do a recap. We have built up to the final stage. We are building up our resources, and that will be it for this episode. You can clearly see how our production go through the roof. And thank you for viewing, and I hope to see you back again for more Dawn of Men. This has been the Strategic Indian, signing out.